Hello guys, welcome. Good evening everyone.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello Kristy, how are you?
I'm good, Belinda. How are you?
Very good, thank you. It's
Good.
great pleasure to have you here today.
It is my pleasure entirely.
Yes. So the guys, good evening everyone and welcome. And all you know, I think my name is Subinder Sidhu from Victoria Education Services. And today we are here, Mrs.Kristy Sletten from Saskatchewan Colleges. And we will have a session regarding study at Saskatchewan Colleges, Great Plan, Parkland, and Cumberland. So we will try our best to clear all your doubts and queries. And meanwhile, if you have any queries, you can drop a message in the chat box, and you can interrupt us, and you can ask any question during the event. And afterward, you can contact me for further information if you need it. And I will hand over our conversation to Mrs. Kristy. And yeah. Yes, please.
Sure. Thanks, Belinda. Okay, I'm going to share my screen here. Oh, if you could give me maybe permission to do that, that would be great.
There's no way to prove it.
Yes, Kristy.
Nope. Yeah, I got it.
I'm all good.
The Jester? He's playing Cobra.
Can everyone see that?
Yes,
Yep.
Kristy. Yes, fine.
Okay, sounds good. Put it on presentation mode here and get started. So thank you everyone for joining us today. I'm excited to introduce you to Saskatchewan Colleges and let you know about some of the incredible opportunities that exist to study in the province of Saskatchewan. So this picture gives you a little bit of an idea of some of the amazing scenes that you'll see in our province. The province of Saskatchewan has some absolutely beautiful scenery to take in. It is an amazing place to live and work and study. So as Sawinder mentioned, Saskatchewan Colleges is a partnership between 3 institutions in the province of Saskatchewan, all part of the regional college system. So all of those institutions are designated learning institutions within the public system. And so that means that all of the programs that we offer are postgraduate work permit eligible, which is, of course, an important aspect to international study. The locations of our campuses are all located in very safe cities to live in. They are very welcoming places to live with great opportunities for international students. There we go. Perfect. So the other thing to note about the province of Saskatchewan in general, but particularly the campus communities where the regional college campuses exist, is that the opportunity for a very low cost of living exists. So in comparison to places like Vancouver and Toronto, the province of Saskatchewan has a cost of living that is 50% less. So it's a marked difference in the cost of living for international students, which is a great opportunity for you to save a little bit of money. The other thing to note is that the province of Saskatchewan is very committed to using international education to fill some of the labor shortages that exist in our province. So there are lots of job opportunities for students, both while they study, as well as when they're finished their training. Also, the province of Saskatchewan has one of the best pathways to permanent residence in the country. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But if you are looking to become a permanent resident of Canada, then Saskatchewan is the best option for you. So the regional college system is a system designed to provide training and get people into the workforce. So all of our programs are 1- and 2-year programs that are very focused on providing people with the knowledge necessary to work within various industries. So here's a list of our 1-year undergraduate certificate programs, several different areas, including agriculture, which is Saskatchewan's main industries, a couple of trades programs like building systems technician or power engineering, some healthcare programs such as continuing care assistant, healthcare cook, and occupational health and safety certificate, and then the business certificate program as well. There's also two-year diploma programs, one in the area of business diploma, which is the first 2 years of a business degree. So if students complete the business diploma, then they can move into one of our universities, University of Regina or University of Saskatchewan, to complete their degree. The other 2-year program that we have is the Youth Care Worker Program. This program is slated to be in very high demand over the next few years, as it is a program that trains people to work with at-risk youth. And as we make our way out of the pandemic, then there will be a very high demand for people with this training. Finally, we have one postgraduate program in the area of global business management. So if students have prior post-secondary education and they're looking to, I guess, advance their credentials, then certainly they can look at this program. It is a 1-year post-grad certificate program. Students need to have a 2 to 4 year post-secondary training prior to applying. And the required IELTS score for this program is a little bit different than our other programs. It's overall 6.5 with no bands less than 6. So the entrance requirements for all of our programs are pretty similar. So all students need to have completed a secondary diploma that would be equivalent to a grade 12 credential in Saskatchewan. So applicants need to have a minimum average of 60% and no core class marks less than 50%. Language assessments are necessary for most countries, of course, and the minimum IELTS score that we accept is 6.5 overall, with no bands less than 5 in all programs except the Global Business Management Program and the Administrative Assistant Program. For those 2 programs, it's no bands less than 6. We do accept other language assessments, particularly one that's notable is Duolingo, which has become a popular option throughout the pandemic. So if you need more information, then contact myself or Suwinder for that information. So as I said, yeah, you have a question, Suwinder?
Yes. No, carry on, Kristy. We will ask on the end. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Sure. So as I said, we are a partnership between 3 institutions, and the campus locations that we have are spread out across the entire province. So we have 8 different campus locations across Saskatchewan. Cumberland College has 3 locations in the cities of Nipawin, Melfort, and Tisdale. Great Plains College has campuses in Warman, Kindersley, and Swift Current. And Parkland has 1 campus in Yorkton. So Cumberland College is located in kind of the north east central part of Saskatchewan. Even amongst people in Saskatchewan, this part of the province is known to be very, very beautiful. It's got lots of lakes and forests and really beautiful scenic spots to spend time. So if you are particularly drawn to the outdoors, this is an amazing spot to settle. The Cumberland College is a designated learning institution, as I said, and that means that they are postgraduate work permit eligible in all cases. Parkland College has one campus location in the city of Yorkton. Parkland College has been hosting international students for about 15 years now, so they have lots of experience, lots of different supports in place for international students. The city of Yorkton offers some incredible opportunities for employment, both, like I said, while students study, as well as in many different industries once you're done. Again, it's a designated learning institution, so a post-grad work permit will come with every successful completion. Great Plains College has 3 campus locations in the cities of Swift Current, Warman, and Kindersley. So those 3 campus locations are kind of in the southwest corner of the province of Saskatchewan. One thing to note, not only in Great Plains College campus areas, but also in other campus areas, are the excellent newcomer welcome center services that exist in the province of Saskatchewan. So the government has committed to supporting newcomers to the province with these centers. And these centers exist in all of our main cities. So the Newcomer Welcome Center network provides support for our own students right from settlement. So when they arrive in the city that they're going to settle in, they can have assistance with accommodation. They can have assistance if they're looking for furniture for their apartment, or if they need assistance with where to go for groceries, or just very day-to-day things like that. But the Newcomer Welcome Center also has an array of services all the way up to applying for citizenship when you get to that stage of your journey. So it's a wide array of services that the Newcomer Welcome Center offers that are very, very valuable to the international student population. So again, Great Plains College is a designated learning institution, and all of our programs are post-grad work permit eligible.
Perfect.
So some of the reasons why you would choose Saskatchewan Colleges as your study destination. Saskatchewan Colleges are very well known for their quality of education, but the thing that sets us apart, of course, is our small class sizes. The opportunity for international students to study in class sizes anywhere from 15 to 30 students maximum. So that's actually quite significant when it comes to promoting student success, particularly for international students, as you'll be learning in a new country, in a new culture, in a new language in some cases. So the opportunity for students to get a lot of support in that small class size environment is very important. The regional college system in Saskatchewan has a philosophy of providing support for students in preparation for the workforce. So what this means is that not only are you going to get the training required to enter a field, but you're going to be provided with the opportunity to build your skills, such as teamwork, critical analysis, problem solving, all of those things that research would suggest that corporations are currently looking for. So those those skills for the workforce are a real focus for every program that the regional college system offers, and actually provides the opportunity for students to be sought after in the workforce. So these additional skills that the regional college system is providing are what employers are looking for. So it really does provide that kind of assistance when looking for work when you're done. The other thing to note, though, is that the campus communities where the regional college campuses exist really provide you an opportunity to build your Canadian home. So the opportunity for you to get involved in the community, to find a network of support, to really kind of get involved in the community where you live, is really something that is important to your overall experience. This is something that is widely offered in all of the cities where our campuses exist. And it really does provide you the opportunity to not only study, but really create yourself a life here in Canada. And then, of course, I've already talked about the low cost of living. So within our campus cities, we are providing students with the opportunity to live very economically. And of course, like I said, that's an excellent aspect when you're an international student.
Perfect.
So when you are ready to apply, then that's where Suwinder and his team are going to help you, and they are certainly going to support you through that entire process. If you do have any questions whatsoever, then please direct all of those questions to Suwinder and his team. They are well versed in providing support for our students, both through the application process as well as with the study permit application. But a few things to note is that, if you have questions in regards to location, because some of our programs are located in more than one location, certainly I can help with providing some insight into which location might be a good option for you. The other thing to note is that the application fee is $140 for all of our programs. And overseas payments are all accepted using the platform Flywire.
Yeah.
So once you fill out an application, which would have you submit the application form, transcripts, language assessment, and passport, as well as paying the application fee, we are working hard to provide offer letters within 3 to 5 days. We understand that, the study permit process is quite lengthy at this point. So we certainly don't want to be the part of the process that's holding up your progress. So we are working hard to provide offer letters as quickly as possible. The offer letter is going to ask for the tuition deposit, which is accepted within 30 days of receipt of the letter. And again, all payments can be paid through Flywire. Again, the acceptance documents we will be providing you as quickly as possible, but definitely within 3 to 5 days of receiving the application or the tuition deposit. Once you're done all of that, then of course, Suwinder and his team will assist with the study permit application, and then we leave it to the immigration gods to give us a decision, I guess.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Kristy, sorry to interrupt you. What were the tuition fees approximately? I mean, how much tuition fees they pay for each program?
Yeah, so our tuition fees range anywhere from $16,000 to $24,000 for the more technical programs. The one thing to note about our programs or our tuition fees is that the fees that are quoted to you are they are including all of their academic costs. So when a student pays those fees, they include all of their student fees, they include tuition, they include health insurance, and all of their books. So once they're done paying those initial fees, they won't have any other fees to pay in regards to their academics. The only other money that they will spend, of course, is on cost of living.
And what about the application fee?
It's
Application fee, $140.
And Kristy, what about the accommodation? Do we have our on-campus accommodations for these international students?
We don't have campus accommodations, but we have full support for students in assisting to find accommodation. So once a student gets their study permit, then certainly put them in contact with us, and we will have our advisors work closely with them to find accommodation that works for them within their price range. If they're looking to connect with a roommate to share costs, we can connect students who are looking. So we provide full support in finding accommodation for students who have a study permit.
Perfect. And yes, please.
Yes, sure, sir. Sorry.
Yeah.
Please, sir.
Yeah. What about public transport in Saskatchewan, Kristy? Because I heard from some of our students not very good reviews, and
Right.
yeah, and I mean, in the winter, they say it's really difficult, and there is a limited service of how to say public transport in the area. Is it true, or there is? I mean,
As well as colleges situated in remote areas. I think it is far from the city. So how it is far from the city?
Okay, well, let's deal with the public transport question first. So the public transport question is, it varies from city to city, let's say. So each city really does have its own system of public transportation. In many cases, the cities where our campuses are located, things are within walking distance, particularly where the campuses are located in relation to where students are living. So that's something that is certainly a possibility for students. What I will say is that in the province of Saskatchewan, we are what I like to refer to as a driving society. When our own children get to a certain age, the first thing they want to do is get a driver's license. They want to, kind of get that freedom that that driver's license provides. So many of our students do endeavor to get their driver's license once they get here. If you have a driver's license from India or, your home country, then you are allowed to drive when you're on a study permit while you're here in Saskatchewan. So although there is public transport that is available for students, most students do choose to make arrangements for their own transportation because it provides them ultimate freedom.
I see. Yeah. Okay. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, in regards to the locations of our cities, then yes, our cities are located outside of the main cities of Saskatchewan. Of course, sometimes students think that this is a downside, but what I would like to say is that actually this is one of the strengths of the Saskatchewan Colleges model. The small cities in Saskatchewan are where the biggest opportunities exist for employment, for cost of living, for the opportunity to, kind of build a network of support. So yes, our cities are smaller cities, but in Saskatchewan, our overall population is, if we're going to talk about Indian standards, it's minuscule.
I see.
So the province of Saskatchewan has only 1.2 million people in the entire province, and the province is the size of Germany. So our population is spread out. Our small cities have all of the resources that students need to have a rich, full life, be it recreation or nightlife or restaurants or, the arts. Every one of our cities maintains a very rich culture, each within its own city. So, one of the things we really want students to understand is that in Saskatchewan, population does not indicate quality of life. There is a exceptional quality of life in every city that our campuses exist. And when students arrive here, they are taken aback by how busy they are outside of their academic lives. So they really do find full lives here in Saskatchewan.
Kirsten,
ma'am, is there any internships available for the students?
So some of our programs do have like work placements associated with them. So for example, the administrative assistant program has a 3-week practicum. The continuing care assistant program has 3 clinical placements that students participate in throughout the course of the program. The youth care worker diploma has 2-month-long practicum placements. So several of our programs do have work placement opportunities.
Kirsten, can I ask,
yeah.
Sorry, this is Alex speaking now, and I would like to ask a couple of questions, please.
Sure.
Well, the first question that I have for you is that from what I understood, agriculture is a big thing in your area, so there are a lot of opportunities, employment opportunities there. The question that I have is, what other areas, industries in your area are available? Where else can people get a job? First question.
Yep,
And
that's a great question.
and the second question that I have for you is, with all these opportunities for employment, do you have any bodies, institutional bodies, I mean, between the colleges and the local industries that connects education with those industries?
Both excellent questions. The industries, let's deal with that one first, that Saskatchewan maintains. Definitely agriculture is one of the main industries. The other equally important main industry in our province is the oil industry, which does employ many people. So agriculture and oil are the main industries, but we also have a very strong potash industry, which is Saskatchewan is the main potash supplier for the world, which is used for things like fertilizer and other things like that. And we also have a very strong opportunity for students to work within like the hotel and management industry. So that is also another strong industry in the province. But yeah, definitely I would say agriculture, oil, service, potash, those are the main employers of our students. In regards to the connection between education and employment, I'm really glad you asked that question actually, because it's something that we've been working very hard on supporting our students. So for example, Saskatchewan Colleges has instituted what we're calling a job coach. And so that job coach works with students near the end of their program and prepares them for the workforce, both in kind of the skills required, but also in like resume building and interview preparation and that sort of thing. So really trying to prepare students to present themselves well in the workforce. But the other aspect of that job is to have that person be in constant connection with the industries in the province that are seeking employment or employees. So the opportunity for that person to maintain that constant connection with employers has been very valuable, because when it comes to times when students are looking, then our job coach will be able to say, here are the industries that are seeking people at this time, go and, talk to them, or, shake hands, those types of important connection building activities that allow students to gain employment once they're done.
Kristy, one of our the guest is asking if we are accepting gap in study, and if a gap is acceptable, and for how many years?
So I'm going to get you to help me answer this question, because for the regional college system, actually, we have no stipulations in terms of gap. So many of our students are people who are returning to retrain. So therefore, a gap in study isn't a big issue for us. What I do understand is significant, though, when students have a gap, is within the immigration piece. So many times, the immigration system will have some issue with students who have a gap longer than it's rumored to be 8 years, let's say. So in a sense, we're not kind of guiding that. It's immigration and the policies surrounding immigration. Now, again, that whole piece is an area where you have more expertise than I do, but certainly from the college perspective, then we have no concern with any number of years of gap.
Sorry to interrupt. Kristy, as you mentioned, that student will get a PGWP, postgraduate work permit. But according to my knowledge, after 1 year of the course, student will get postgraduate work permit only for 8 or 9 months. What are the opportunities after that?
Well, first of all, what we have done with our programs is that when a student is completed their program, then we provide them with the letter that provides the guideline for how long that postgraduate work permit is. So when we provide that letter, we're providing the letter saying that our programs are 1 academic year. Our students are getting postgraduate work permits for 1 year. So in fact, in the 4 years that we've been doing this, I have never seen a student get a work permit for less than 1 year. So I think that's important to note. After the students are completed that year of postgrad time, or whatever period of time, because for a 2-year program, they're going to get a 3-year postgraduate work permit. Within that postgraduate work permit time, many of our students are working towards their permanent resident certification. So I talked earlier about the pathway to permanent residence. So the Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program is Saskatchewan's pathway to permanent residence. In Canada, every province mandates its own guidelines for having students become permanent residents. The point of that, of course, is to draw people to our province to settle and live and work for the remainder of their lives. So the province of Saskatchewan has created a pathway that is very strong. What students need in that postgraduate work permit time is they need a job offer, of course, but the other 2 criteria that they need to meet are both met in their study time. So they need to successfully complete a program of study, and they need 780 hours of work experience that accumulate while they study if they maintain a part-time job. So many of our students choose to work while they study, and the difference in the program in Saskatchewan as compared to other provinces is that the work that they do while they study can accumulate towards that permanent resident criteria. So basically, I like to use the continuing care assistant program as an example because it has great job opportunities. So the opportunity for students to finish their program in 8 months, it takes about 10 months to accumulate 780 hours of work experience. At the end of that program, they'll apply for their postgrad work permit, and within a year, some students are ready to apply for permanent residence. So it does provide, like I said, an excellent opportunity for students to reach that certification quite quickly.
Perfect. Kristy, what about the refund policy? Let's say in case of visa rejection, and and in case if student, he got visa but he doesn't want to attend one of our colleges.
Okay, so there's 2 different kind of situations there. So in the case where a student applies for a study permit and they are rejected, then of course that is no fault of theirs. So they will be refunded their entire tuition deposit minus $500 for an administration fee. So again, if students are refused a study permit, then the refund policy is very clear. They are given back their entire tuition deposit minus $500. If a student goes through the study permit process using our documents and their study permit is approved, the second that study permit is approved, their tuition deposit becomes non-refundable. So the purpose behind that is to ensure that our students that we have worked to have in our programs will of course attend our programs. So when students get a study permit using documents from one of the Saskatchewan colleges, then the second their study permit is approved, that tuition deposit becomes non-refundable. Of course, many times it's a non-issue because if students apply to us, then their intention is to attend. If that is not the case, then of course they just have to understand that that tuition deposit is not being refunded.
Kirsten, can I ask what is the size of the deposit that you require?
Yep. So the minimum deposit that we require is 50% of the first year tuition. In many cases, students have been choosing to pay 100% of the first year tuition, either because they're applying through the Study Direct stream of study permit application, or because increasingly paying 100% of the tuition deposit seems to positively impact their ability to get a study permit. So we will ask for a minimum of 50%. If students want to pay more than that, if they would like to pay up to 100%, then certainly just let us know and we can arrange for that.
Yes, Kiran, I think you
So
want to ask
one more
something.
question from our guest is, are all the programs eligible for SINP? The Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Every program that we offer is postgraduate work permit eligible, which means that it's eligible for the SINP.
Okay. And also there is another one. What is the selling point for the colleges? They can add on the social media and the students also.
Yeah, so basically I would say that the main selling points for Saskatchewan colleges are the support in their pathway to employment, the opportunity for students to be very successful as students with the academic supports that are in place, as well as the class sizes that exist within each college. And then I guess finally, the opportunity for students to use our programs as a pathway to permanent residence.
Thank you.
Kristy, what about a monthly cost approximately? How much a student needs per month to live international student life in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, for sure. So the average cost of living in the province for someone who chooses to live by themselves in a one-bedroom apartment is about $1,100 per month. And that's including rent and utilities like power, water, Wi-Fi, all of those important things. And so yeah, so about $1,100 a month for cost of living.
And make sure Netflix is not included in this price. Yeah. So guys, and
As you have a program, continue care assistance. So can we take students from both the sides, GNM as well as for the nursing? BSc nursing.
So are you asking if students who have the BSc can apply for CCA?
yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. That is actually
As well as GNM.
Sorry.
It's a
GNM. It's a 3-year diploma.
It's a 3-year nursing diploma.
Nursing
in
diploma.
India.
Yeah. Yeah, actually the minimum criteria for the CCA program is a secondary diploma, so a high school diploma. So any post-secondary education that people have is really just a bonus. What I will say is that the majority of our CCA applicants are coming to us with post-secondary training in health from their home country. Of course, the opportunity for transferring credentials within health is very difficult country to country. So it is a great pathway for people who have health training or health work experience to get into the country and, provides them with a pathway to work in the health industry and, gain that experience in Canada and then maybe work towards transfer of credentials eventually.
Kristy, we have a Mr. Rashpal from Core Immigration, and he's asking if we provide any scholarship for international students, and either from the college or from the government. So,
great question. Yeah. So all of the colleges offer some type of scholarship programs. Some of those are $500 to $1,000 entrance scholarships. Others of them are, for example, Great Plains College, in our 2-year programs, we offer scholarships in the second year of those programs. So we offer 5 $2,000 scholarships for students to apply for that are based on marks from their first year, attendance and, any kind of community service that they've become involved in throughout the course of their first year. So varying degrees of scholarships throughout each of the institutions.
Ma'am,
Kristy, are
is
we
the maths is-
accepting Duolingo as
Yeah,
well as
yeah.
TOEFL? Right, because someone from our guests, they are asking for Duolingo.
Yeah, we do accept Duolingo.
And what
so
will be the score for that?
for most of the programs, it's 105. For GB, like Global Business Management and the Administrative Assistance, it's 115.
Okay, and what about the TOEFL?
Yeah, we do accept TOEFL as well. It's a minimum score of 550. And then, let's see, 3.5 and a minimum TSE of 50.
Perfect.
I have one more question for you. Skills and certificates attained in the services. Do you credit them? How does that work with your institutions? Do you acknowledge them?
Can you give me an example? Like, for example, are you talking about
a paramedic course, for example?
Yeah. So I think what you're asking is that, like, credentials that come from their home country, can we recognize them in?
Yeah.
In some cases, yes. What I will say is that in the health field, it's very, very difficult, and I have never seen it be successful because the country and the province have such specific health guidelines that really they want people who are working in our health industry to be trained by Canadian standards. So it's very difficult to achieve that, particularly if they are, in a short-term program. Then it really actually is easier for them to just retake the credential here and have that knowledge and certificate from Canada than it is to try and transfer the credential.
Do you get any credit from the colleges if you have skills like that beforehand?
I think it's totally, up to the, how you call the question related to the syllabus, Alex, and they have to make an assessment, and according to the assessment, if a student has completed similar course or programs, then there is a possibility of credit transfer. Otherwise, it's really, really difficult.
Yeah. And in some cases, like, for example, like in business, for example, if students have particular courses that they would like to try and get credit transfer for, that's a little bit easier because, the area of business is a little bit more standard in the world. But one thing students have to be very wary of is that most of them want to work. If they transfer too many credentials within a program, then they end up being in a situation where suddenly they can only study part-time, and then they can't work. So there is a little bit of downside to transferring credentials for that reason.
Kiran, I think you want to ask something.
Yes, sir. Is maths compulsory for the students from medical background? And there are some students from commerce background, they are not having mathematics. So what will be the admission criteria for those?
Yep, that's perfectly fine. We can accept those students. I think the agriculture science certificate requires math. So that would be one where we would require that. And power engineering requires math. But other than that, we can accept, the commerce stream students and all the other.
They can only study part-time, and then they can't work.
Thank you.
Perfect.
I'm hearing myself weird.
See there. Yeah, anyone else, guys? Rishpal from Core Immigration, don't be shy. No.
Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
It was very good session. Thanks to Kristy and thanks to the entire team. It was very informative session. We are proud to be part of your organization and the Saskatchewan Colleges. we will try to send maximum applications for these colleges. We have been working through MSM earlier for these colleges. We had sent a few applications, but unfortunately, a few applications were refused, so we stopped sending applications. But with this session, we are hopeful for the positive result for the next time. So we will try to send maximum application we can. So thanks to all of you.
And Rashpal, if you have any doubt about the requirements, you can contact me, or either, I mean, you can contact Kristy. You can just send emails.
Sure.
If you go through
Sure.
the website, there is an email international at, and
Sure,
you can
sure.
send international@saskatchewancollege.ca. Okay.
Sure. I'll get you from your team.
And we are
I will
expecting
definitely
very big.
email.
We are expecting very big number from you. So fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
No pressure, no
Sure,
pressure.
sure.
Sure. Thank
Sure,
you so
sure.
much. We look forward to working with you for sure.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anyone else, guys? Alex?
No, thank you very much. That was a very nice presentation.
Thank you for coming, Alex. Appreciate it.
And
ma'am.
Kristy, thank you so much. It was a great pleasure being with all of you here. And I really appreciate it. And
Perfect.
we are looking forward to have a fruitful mutual cooperations with all of you. So, yeah.
Exactly. No, I certainly look forward to working with all of you and appreciate your time this morning, and reach out if there's ever any questions. Then there's my email address, and again, Suinder is he's just about as expert as I am in Saskatchewan Colleges.
Oh, thank you, Kristy. You're too kind.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Kristy. Have a good day, Kristy. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.